Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and XRP has been flirting with 90 cents. It's still looking very bullish. And what is driving this? Well, we'll go into that a bit deeper in this video. And also, another document was filed in the SEC versus Ripple case. This time it came from Ripple, and it is a really good one. And David Schwartz, wow, being featured big time in Japan. And also, you too will be able to access the XRP whale charts very soon. Why would you want to do that? Because it is the whales that hang out with market making and on-demand liquidity. And if you are about the utility of this digital asset XRP, you want to see those charts. All right, more money is flowing back into the market. Yes, we are at the same size in terms of total market cap that we were on May 19th, 1.9 trillion. Bitcoin has been pretty much over 46,000 all day today, but just in the last hour is taking a little bit of a breather. As I prepared to record this, Ethereum was over 3,000, Cardano up 20% in the last 24 hours. XRP, like I said, strong, 9.2% up, touching that 90 cent mark a few times. XLM, strong, 32 cents, up 6%. Axie Infinity, again, that game token is up 63%. It might be influencing Galacoin. It is up 25%. But Quant is waking back up. We've got Zinfin, XDC, Zilliqa, Alliance Block. I mean, so many of the projects, as you can see in the visual here, are really in the green. Now, all eyes are on Bitcoin, and you can see it's at 45,959 at the moment. It is driving the momentum. The whales were letting this run take hold. I hope they don't change their mind. We have a dominance of 46.99%. I'd really like to see the volume, however, up more than it is with Bitcoin. And did you know there's some big news that today, for the first time in the 9-year history of Coinbase, Ethereum flipped Bitcoin in trading volume. So Coinbase had 26% of their numbers for Q2 tied up in trading for Ethereum. The reason for this growth? Oh, DeFi, of course, and NFTs. And then you've got the XRP market cap. It now is, for the first time since June 15th, surpassing 40 billion. So what is happening here? Well, I think it's all about this very nice announcement that came out of SBI Ripple Asia, to be precise. This is Mr. Kitao's deal. Mr. Kitao is the CEO of SBI, the largest outside shareholder of Ripple. And he is an XRP whale himself because he loves to do market making and provide liquidity. He is putting RippleNet rails in between South Korea and Thailand. And as this announcement says, SBI Ripple Asia is promoting RippleNet technology in the Asian region. And the receiver is going to be Siam Commercial Bank. They have been working with SBI for the longest time, for years. And, you know, on the other side then in South Korea is going to be GME Remittance. And they have the #1 market share, 200,000 customers in 2020. 1 trillion Korean won was achieved in their volume. And, you know, for Ripple, this whole region of Asia has grown by 130% year on year. And I do feel sure that Emi-san was instrumental in getting this deal done too. She is on the board of MoneyTap, a member, and she's also a board observer of SBI Ripple Asia. Her position with Ripple is the Vice President of Corporate Strategy and Operations, but I know she's actively working to get these deals done. I'm just positive she's building out part of this world as well. So let's be clear, because I heard something today that a very big YouTuber with a large audience say that you have to use XRP with Ripple Tech. No, you don't. I need to make that clear that you can use the Ripple technology, just the rails, and not use on-demand liquidity. On-demand liquidity needs to have demand. It needs to have a liquid corridor, meaning two users on either end to make that demand and flow happen. And you also have to have the regs in place, the regulations. So yes, RippleNet rails are often put into place first, and then the corridor is built out with those liquidity providers. And you have to make sure that that demand is really there. And if you have everything falling in place and all the stars align, then yes, XRP is used. And so what are the regulations like in Korea? Well, they're pretty favorable. The government agencies are strict and issue license for the use of crypto, but they're also very active in making the rules clear for their tax, for their KYC. And the one thing that they do feel very strict on is no privacy coins. But more and more millions of people are using the apps in South Korea to pay for services and goods with cryptocurrency. So I would call it a very crypto-friendly country. And what about Thailand? Well, Thailand is extremely savvy when it comes to digital currencies, especially Siam Commercial Bank, who's been working with SBI, like I said, for years. And there's not a lot of coverage in the West about this, but the Thai bank has been in a sandbox after sandbox using digital assets to do cross-border remittances. Here, they are just this year announcing that China, the UAE, Hong Kong, and Thailand are doing these cross-border payments using a CBDC. They began this experiment in 2019, and the project is called Multiple Central Bank Digital Currency Bridge, or M-CBDC. I just don't see a lot of people talking about it in the West, but they did this with contracting consensus, which is, of course, part of Ethereum. And the one thing the central bank hates in Thailand is they really dislike stable coins that are pegged to their Thai baht. That is something they really dislike. So when it comes to DeFi and wrapping the Thai baht to create a pegged asset, that is something that they're very unhappy with. But when it comes to digital assets and cross-border remittances, they're very experienced. Do I think that the regulations are going to be such for XRP to be used? Well, it's regulated, and I think it definitely has a high probability to be used, because at the end of the day, it ain't the money, it's the money. And everybody wants to maximize the savings that is able to be garnered by using the digital asset XRP. All right, there is a new Ripple document that was filed, but first we need to kind of take a look at what was said back on May 6th. It was Judge Sarah Netburn who ordered the documents that were going to be withheld on the basis of privilege by the SEC. They must be identified on a privilege log. Well, the SEC went to say that they claim everything as privileged. And so Ripple is calling BS to that. They filed 21 pages citing in very detailed ways that the SEC is improper for its assertions of privilege, and it has not produced one single responsive internal document. And they go on to list that the SEC is hiding communication over Hinman's speech. There are 63 emails that had attached drafts of that speech. There are 65 other emails with attorney notes and 170 interagency communications. So they're trying to use this blanket invocation which is untenable according to Ripple, and it should not be permitted. And they also think that it's legally not okay to do. The documents are relevant as the court already has ruled twice, they state. So the information will demonstrate that the SEC itself was also uncertain and confused about the marketplace. The court has noted that the unusually intense public interest, which point to the documents at issue here, go to the heart of the public's interest in the case. This is really a great 21 pages of reasons why the SEC can't just put this blanket protection on everything that they have said or communicated with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. So it's really an exceptional case with exceptional circumstances justifying discovery for the future proceedings, and of course incredibly high stakes but high value litigation too. So they even cite the tweet that went out by the sitting Commodities Futures Trading Commissioner. You remember that one? Let me just show you what that tweet was, when he said, "So just so we're all clear here, the SEC has no authority over pure commodities or trading venues, whether those commodities are wheat, gold, oil, or crypto assets." Yeah, I think that it's just so interesting, right? The SEC is not looking so good in this situation. And unfortunately, the House of Agriculture for the GOP, they had said that Congress needs to write the rules of the road to protect investors and innovation in the digital economy. Well, we just saw they are not capable of doing it either. So as part of the crypto community, we do need to stick together and help guide those that are making the decisions. All right, I posted this photo on Twitter today. Can you guess who it is? Yeah, it's David Schwartz, or better known as Joel Katz on Twitter. He's the chief cryptographer on the Ripple team, and he actually is part of the team that co-founded the XRP ledger. I love this photograph. It came from one of two interviews that were published. One was published on the 9th, one on the 10th, and it is an interview that Hisahiro Abegawa did. And it is, both of them actually are just fantastic. He had the ability to really get David to open up with such a warm personal touch. David talks about how he was born in New York City, and now at the age of 51, he does think of himself when he was a child as an introvert. And the cute story that I found is that he liked to open and close doors of microwaves, so his mom said. But his mom said he just wasn't repeating the same thing, but he was interested in changing the speed and changing the angle when he opened and closed. He also attributes to his knowledge of computer science to his father. And so it's great. I just don't want to tell you all because I don't want to steal your enjoyment when you read both of these. The second article is looking at the future of crypto assets. Will that adoption come from the top down, or will it come from the bottom up? It's a very good intellectual candy for the mind to think about how this is going to occur. So I don't want to spoil it. I'm going to put links to both of these articles in the description, and just use Google Translate. It's good enough for you to understand, I think, at a very high level. All right, I am just going to show you one more picture that came from that article. This is David when he was in college with his mom. It's great. I love old photographs. All right, so you all know I just love this site. This is 3xrp.dev. and it's continually growing and changing and evolving. And Short the FOMO on Twitter is building out some of the most interesting tools, and he's having, I think, a lot of fun with this site. Well, he's not only doing that, but here you can see this will become the very first NFT on the XRPL, the ledger. How cool is this, right? What did he use? It's a Blender model and the 3J's procedural logic for the penciling with some pixel shaders for the eliminations. Anyway, he did provide a link to where you can see a live render of how he created it. I just love it. I just can't wait to see this offered as an NFT. So what's he doing here? Well, for just 10 XRP, you can use your Sum app and connect to his developer page, and for just 10 XRP, you'll be able to have the privilege to get into his whale watch section. This is really interesting because like I said, the whales often are those that are participating in on-demand liquidity. So it's right up my alley, which is the utility. And you can see here that the whale accounts are those that move balances greater than 10 million. And when you have access to this, you'll be also able to see on that globe, when the whale charts are added, you'll be able to access the section, and whales actually will be rendered on the globe. I think it's going to be, yeah, I think it's going to be very fun. So if that is interesting to you, I'm hoping I gave you a heads up. All right, we're jumping to the fluff, which is kind of interesting too. This is a very eccentric contemporary artist, Yayoi Kusama-san, and she is very famous for her kind of big polka dot colored motifs, and she does it on everything from clothing to jewelry to sculpture. She's just really famous, and she has this one piece that is on the Naoshima Island. So it's an island that's devoted to art. It's literally the whole island has been taken over by museums, installations. Everything is art. Pretty cool place. You can get there by ferry. And she had her pumpkin, which was very famous, sitting out at the end of one of the piers. Well, we just had a typhoon on the 9th of August, and unfortunately, the typhoon took her pumpkin off the pier and damaged it, which is kind of a shame, but they will get it fixed, I'm sure. If you want something a little bit more quiet, head up to Hokkaido, and you can see that this is what the ski park looks like now. Just a kind of annual event that is just beautiful with all of the plantings that they do. I just love it. And for the first time in 2 years, they're going to hold the Koshien High School Baseball Tournament. It just started today. This is an annual event. This is like the 103rd tournament that they've had. It's fantastic to see the high school boys play their hearts out always. I think I enjoy this as much as I did watching the Olympics. And this year there is an ace pitcher. This is Fergus Verdana. Yeah, I don't know where his father is from. I need to research further, but he has really stolen the media's heart because he is so fast. He threw a no-hitter today, and I'm sure I'm going to be following his progress. I want to bring you some updates as Koshien continues, and it happens over the next couple of weeks. So I just am so excited. This is one of the big highlights of being in Japan during the summer, and I'm so glad the tournament is back. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.